What's up, everybody? Let's do some comping today, and we have a really interesting deal that we're going to look at right now. So this property here, we got a contract on it. This was Ryan's contract, and he got it for $47,500, and we all thought it was a great deal. But there was an issue with this deal, and let me show you this so this doesn't happen to you guys again. So this deal here, I'll open it up. This was well, that's a terrible picture. This was a land deal that was on market for $70,000. Why are the pictures so bad? Let me try to refresh the page. So it's a 7,500 square foot land deal in Dallas. So here it is, guys. It's located right here. And I'm going to start you guys off by showing you how to comp land real quick. So here it is. It's a good neighborhood of Dallas, and he got it for $45,000. So how do we comp land? Well, I've showed you guys a few times how to comp land. You can open up the calculator here in the Discord. Go to the calculator, open it up, then flip on over to the land calculator. And this neighborhood is probably somewhere between 15 to 20% of ARV. Now, what does that mean? Long story short, guys, on deals like this, you can usually offer a percentage of ARV, right? Based off of the property. Now, what's ARV? It's the potential worth of the house you're building. So let's quickly comp this deal. So what we're trying to figure out is how much could we build a house for? All right, so that's how we comp land. We usually determine how much we can build a house for. The other way to comp land, there's two ways, is to see what other land is selling for. We've done this a million times, but it's good practice. So what Ryan did and what Cody did was they saw this land here, and you're gonna wanna usually use Propelio, guys. It's the best comping. For land, it's not as good, but we'll use it anyways right now. And just remember, the size is 7,500 square feet. I always like to drive street view real quick. So here is the land that we're talking about. I think it's this plot right here. Just gives you a good idea. You see if there's utilities, see if there's actually a street. A lot of times there may not actually be a street. We want to make sure there's a street. I like to see if there's new builds around here. This looks okay. I'm getting not that great of a neighborhood, maybe an okay neighborhood. So what we're going to do now, guys, is we're going to flip over to comparable sales, and we're going to see what 2024 houses are selling for. Propelio was telling me that they're trying to speed up how fast Propelio is. That would be nice. All right, so what we're going to do, guys, we're going to go to any year built, and we're going to say the minimum is a 2024 build. And we're going to see what new houses are selling for around here. So our land, again, it was listed at 70,000. Ryan got it for 45,000. So here is a new house that is on the market for 300,000. Okay, not bad. Here's one that's sold for 280,000, around 300,000. So that just sort of tells you what the land is worth. Now, between us, I think Ryan's lot's a little bit bigger. A 7,500 square foot lot's pretty great size. So maybe it's a little bit of a premium, but that just gives you an idea of the neighborhood. Maybe $300,000 houses. So let's flip back over to the calculator, if I can find it. Hold on. And what we're going to do is we have one lot. This is not a great neighborhood. This is probably an average neighborhood. Could debatably be a middle neighborhood. I would say could possibly be a middle neighborhood just because of the location. So it's listed, I don't know, what was it listed at, like around 65,000. I don't really remember the price. The ARV is around 300,000. So Ryan got it just at MAO. He got it just at the right price. Great job, Ryan, right? He got it for $45,000. Between us, guys, we can probably sell this for close to 60 grand. So combined, we're all gonna make about $15,000. All right, this calculator is great. Make sure to use it. The other way, guys, you can comp land, which you should always comp land both ways, is flip back over to Propelio. And what you're going to want to do, let's take this off. You're going to want to see what other land has sold for. Now, Propelio told me that they added a filter. They did. Dude, I love this. They literally saw my complaint in my video. If you guys don't know, I made a YouTube video about Propelio. That's so funny. Here, MLS versus Propelio, I think, something like that. That's so funny. Here's my video. They watched my video and they were like, oh wait, yeah, let's add a land filter. So now you can actually filter for land. That's so cool. I love when they take positive feedback. So now guys, you can look at what other land has sold for. Okay? And we won't look for other similar lots in the area. Again, ours, I believe, is 7,500 square feet, so try to find other similar sized lots. The only downside with Propelio is sometimes it doesn't give you the most accurate data in terms of like the sizes of houses and stuff. It gets a little wonky, but it's pretty good for what it is. I'm very happy with the software. So you can just get an idea of what other land is selling for. And looks like other land is selling for like 55K, 80K, 80K, 60K. We usually sell things for a little bit cheaper than what sells on MLS. So I think we could sell for 60K all day long, 65K, 65K. So if we got it for 45K, would we all agree? Pretty good deal. What's up, Olivia? Right? I think we'd all agree. Pretty good deal. So Ryan thought it was a great deal. Well, that's when it took a turn. So we got the deal under contract. It was sent. So Ryan got the deal under contract. Cody helped him. It was then sent to my acquisition agent, Matt. Matt then put the deal out on Salesforce for my sales team. The sales team was about to sell the deal, and we got some bad news. Ryan, you want to jump in and say what happened?
Well, I think they like ran the deal, and just right before option was about to end, Matt called me and he's just like, hey, we have to cancel. We had a bunch of interest on the property, but just because it was in like an industrial type area, for whatever reason, they didn't want to build.
There you go, right? So the zoning, guys. So when we're talking land, guys, part of comping is actually doing your due diligence too. So let's open up the taxes. So what now Ryan is going to do going forward, hopefully now that he's learned a lesson. We are always learning lessons in real estate, guys. Every bad deal is not a bad deal. It's a lesson learned. You want to check the zoning of your property. So this one was actually zoned wrong. Now, although it says it's a residential lot, I believe, wasn't there an issue with the zoning, right? Ryan, it was something, it was like a commercial zoning, or there was a problem with it. Z239. Now, guys, I'll be honest.
I think the main thing was just that everywhere else was commercial. I don't know. I think you could still build a residential like house on it or whatever, but I don't know for sure. You'd have to ask Matt.
All right, you know what? We can call Matt right now. But no, I mean, everything around it is more or less residential. Down here, it's commercial. But more or less, guys, always check the zoning of your properties. Here, you know what? Let's call Matt. Let's get the feedback from the man himself who ran the deal. One of my awesome agents. He's been a wholesaler for, I don't know, probably a decade now. So that's how you comp land, guys. Those are the two different ways to comp land. Percentage of ARV, as well as what similar land has sold for. Always dry street view, get a feel for the neighborhood. But guys, look at the zoning too. You can do that in the tax rolls. If you can't find that, send it to me. Yeah, we've had a lot of deals go south because of zoning. Hopefully Matt answers. If he doesn't, just a little tip for you guys. And here's a little trick you can do too. I'll show you. He answered, but then he hung up. Let's double dial him. Oh, he's calling me. Hey, what's up, Matt?
Hey, man.
Hey, I got you on my live stream. Are you ready to be put on the spot?
Yeah.
All right, so what happened with Ryan Binion's colonial deal? So supposedly it was in the wrong zoning?
Yeah, so it was in a small subzone of a very open district in South Dallas. It's called Plan Development 595. It fell in a neighborhood commercial zone that affected 7 to 10 lots in this subzone of PD 595, where it could only be commercial trade. The only way it could be a residential property is if it was like a half business, half residence type thing, like if you worked out of your house or something like that. But it had to be commercial facing.
Okay. I actually know that well. My dad lived in his office, right? It was half office, half house, but that's a lot more common in California. So how would you have known something like that? Is it in the tax rolls, or where would you find that information?
We found it on the city website. We looked at the zoning map, and there's an interactive map on the City of Dallas website, so where we were able to see that it fell within this small sub-district. And then it was like PD 595, and then it's like NC 13 or something. And I just Googled that zoning code, and it took me to the whole zoning code, and it saw it had like a small subsection for the neighborhood commercial district, and that's where we were seeing that it wasn't fit for residential use.
That's crazy. So you've been wholesaling for, I don't even know, way longer than me. I mean, you're pretty much a master at this.
2019.
But 2019, right? And then, is this the first time you've seen this happen?
Yes, this is the first particular deal I've seen in this subsection. It only affects maybe 10 lots over there. But still, that's why you got to do the due diligence prior to contracting. And you know, even whenever you think something's very straightforward, you always have to do your due diligence prior to contracting. All
right. So going forward, we're always going to now check the zoning, not just on the tax rolls, but also on the city website.
Yes.
Man, crazy. Hey, well, thank you so much. That was an awesome learning lesson for everybody. How's everything else, Matt? You good?
I'm doing good, man. Life's been good. You know, a lot of changes here at RFP, but yeah. I'm excited for what's to come.
Hey, well, you're the best, man. I'll leave you alone. I'll see you probably in the office one of these days this week.
Yes, sir. I'll see you.
All right, see you. Dude, is that crazy or what? Right, guys? So, as wholesalers, literally, like, this guy, you know, okay, wholesaling for 5 years. I think he was doing sales and real estate related things before that. Dude, he's never seen this happen to us. So, Ryan got a deal. Everything checked out. It looked like a dunk, right? The price was good, right? Everything was good, except there was this weird zoning thing about the city that bad things are going to happen, guys. We just keep learning, all right? So just wanted to share that story with you guys. So, guys, feel free to send properties here that you want me to comp. Today, we are comping, but part of comping is doing your due diligence. So that's sort of the more I want to have today on today's lesson. Comping is not just the numbers. Comping is also the due diligence. Crazy story, right? Never heard that one before. That was new to me too. That's actually the second time I've had a deal like that happen in the past couple months. If you guys watched my duplex video, right? Olivia's duplex that we slang. Luckily, we were still able to sell it, but that was the same one where the city just said, these 5 or 10 houses in this district, we're not allowing you to build a duplex. So that will happen sometimes with land. So that's the one thing, guys, is if you're new to wholesaling, please don't try to do land and houses right off the bat. Or if you are going to do it, like, take it slow. They're very, very different games, completely different games, right? You know, don't you try and then like going multifamily, going all that. It's just different, right? So I am fairly new to land, probably been doing land for about 6 months now, but I think I have a pretty good grasp on it, but I'm still learning things here and there. But before that, I was doing houses for 8 years, right? So, you know, take your time doing either, but today I'll still be showing you how to comp both. So yeah, guys, feel free to drop your messages in here and I'll look at some more to comp. Alma still wants $500K for her house. Dude, drop her phone number in here again, Ryan. I'll call her just to piss her off. But guys, yeah, let's quickly summarize comping land. And if you guys want me to comp some more land deals, I have a lot of deals to comp. So I'll stop talking here in a second. We'll start comping. But just to summarize, guys, there's 2 main ways to comp land. There's actually technically 3, but I prefer these 2. They're the simplest. You have 10, 15, and 20. All right, what are these? These are percentages. I don't know what the hell I just drew there. Percentages. Oh, can't draw a percentage. There we go. Percentage. This, guys, what's this? You guys know this. Come on. You guys know this. Type it in the chat. I know you guys know this. This is the ghetto. Straight out of Compton. This is suburbia. Right, where the soccer moms live. Suburbia. All right, and this, guys, this is where all the rich live, right? This is your 90210. I don't know if you guys have seen that show. I'm probably dating myself. Anyways, guys, so if what we're going to do is look for ARV. What's ARV? Those are 2024, or if you're 2025 or 2026, I don't know when you guys are watching this. Probably going to be watching this in 2024. Those are your new builds, okay? So you're going to take what a new house is selling for in that area, off of a similar sized lot, and then you're either going to offer 10% if it's in the ghetto, 15% if it's in suburbia, and 20% if it's in the rich area. Here, I'll break this down a little bit simpler. 10% usually if ARV, and this is DFW, I'm not talking California. This is Dallas-Fort Worth, is less than 300K. Here it's usually if it's less than 1 million, and here it's usually if it's 1 million plus. That's what I've traditionally seen. Hey, 90210. Hey, let's go, Crystal, right? So that's a really quick. You guys can comp land in literally 10 seconds. But this is just a back of the napkin numbers. Then you want to double check your numbers. Always double check by seeing what similar land has sold for. Similar land sells for. All right. Now, a lot of you have been sending me land deals, but there's been problems with them. So let's actually go through a couple examples before we jump into houses here. Let me try to find them. I get sent so many deals. I think, who sent me this deal? Let's try to find it. Bear with me while I look for it. Oh, there you go. Okay, so this deal that was just sent to me by Sean is a 3 land package. But the issue with this one, guys, is sure, like the numbers look good, like everything was working fine. But I look at this and immediately I see a problem. Do you guys see any issues here, or is it just me? Like maybe I look at so much land that I'm unfazed. But like this is not like a main nice street. And this is better than a lot of the deals I see. A lot of times y'all are sending me deals, and it's okay. Like you have to learn this stuff where there's not even a street. It's like a dirt lot. Or Ryan sent me one deal. Ryan, you remember that one deal you sent me? You literally sent me a house or land that was landlocked by other houses. So that's why, guys, yeah, and then you're getting into easements, you're getting into all these issues. No, guys, if you look at it, if you want a piece of land, it needs to be an infill lot in the city, and it needs to have utilities and street access. So let's write that down. We only want to do infill lots in the city, in the concrete jungle. I'll show you what that is in a second. You need to have utilities. All right, and then you need to have streets. And I'm not talking a little dirt paved road. Because guys, you want to know how much this costs? I'm dropping the bombs for you right now. Doing this. You guys send me a piece of land, and I had another deal I was working on for, I think it's 23 Truth here in the chat. He sent me a deal. Everything looked great. It was actually super cheap. Like the lots were only like $20,000. And like you could build like a $250,000 house. So 10%, right? I was like, wow, these are great. I can probably sling these for like 35, 40 grand maybe. Well, I drive Street View. I literally hop in my little mobile virtual car, drive Street View. There is no street. It's a dirt road. And if you look around, you don't see utility poles. How much does that cost per lot? On average, guys, on average, and these are the numbers that I get from builders, it's $25K per lot on average. Now, it's going to be more or less, but it's just a good number, right? So it's like, I'm literally losing money buying these lots. It's so expensive to put a street in, and it's really expensive to put utilities in, guys. So I don't even mess with land that doesn't have, well, I mean, any of these, but especially utilities or streets. Like, if it doesn't have this, I really don't even want to look at it. It's just outside of my wheelhouse. At the end of the day, guys, like, we're wholesalers. There's different types of wholesalers. If you want to be the wholesaler that like does all these complicated deals, these deals take 6, 9, 12 months, and maybe you close one of them, that's a way to wholesale. But I like doing quick, fast deals, making a little bit of money on each deal. I like the volume. Land 20 minutes from Dallas in suburban area only houses. Okay, I think I understand your question, Unreachable. Let's open up a map here, guys. So that's the first thing, guys. Look to see if there's utility poles. Like, look, that's a utility pole. See these wires? That's great. And that's a street. But like, this street looks a little wonky to me. Maybe I'm just, no, I mean, I guess it looks like a street. But it's a bit odd, right? I'm not sure. So I just wanted to double check with you guys about that. Make sure the street, make sure there's utility poles. Then you also have water, you have all the other stuff. But utility poles are a good sign. Now let's open up a map here. Where do you want to find your land, guys? It's pretty much the moment you get out of the concrete jungle, and it's probably the same for wherever you are. Literally, I call it concrete jungle. Once things go from grass to, white, I don't really mess with things after that. All right, that's it. You don't want to be looking at land deals out here in Walton, because oftentimes you're buying, I don't know. Here, we can flip over to land real quick. You're buying like 20 acres and you're trying to do replatting and all this shit. Don't mess with that. Don't mess with that. Don't mess with this, guys. If you're an expert in it, cool. But don't mess with this. I don't even mess with it. Don't do replatting. You don't want to do rezoning. Okay, so no replats and no rezones. Okay, what do those two things mean? Then we're going to get off of the land subject. Replatting means that, hey, I have one big acre and I want to divide that into, I don't know, 8 little acres. Max, hey, I just sent you an acre of land, and if we replat it, we can, it's right now it's listed at 100,000, but if we replat it, we can sell each one for, I don't know, like 30,000. Max, we can make so much money. Dude, I'm not in the business of doing replats. Find an expert who does replats. It's a completely different game, guys. Guys, learn to do one thing and one thing well. This is a very, very different game. It's a lot of time with the city. You got to be an expert in that. These deals will take months and months and months. And oftentimes you don't want to wholesale them. You actually want to close on them. You want to buy it. That's a business. You guys want to get into that and you like that, do it. It's sick. Buy it, then replat it, then individually sell them yourselves. But you're going to have to close. You're going to actually have to buy it. You're not going to wholesale it. I know you're not going to double close. You're literally going to buy it. So do that if you want. Just a different business. And rezone, guys, it's like we talked about. Hey, Max, this property's zoned commercial, but the realtor told me it'd be super easy to make it, residential, and then we could sell it for more. If it was that easy, why wouldn't they do it? Don't do that. We're not in the business. All right, guys? So that's my big rant when it comes to land. All right, cool. Let's start talking single family. Any questions, guys? All of you can feel free to chat. I'm going to unmute whoever I had muted. No, I'm going to keep you muted. Sorry, Dan Lumber, I'm keeping you muted. Elizabeth, you were muted for some reason. I'm going to unmute you. All right, cool. No questions in the chat, guys? You want to comp some deals? I'm just going to go through here and just start grabbing properties. And if you want to comp a couple seller finance ones near the end, I'm happy to comp those too. All right, sick. I feel like you guys know how to comp. You guys' comping is solid. Guys, all comping is for a cash deal. You have a cash deal, right? It's a cash deal. There's literally just 3 things you got to do. All right, you got to find the ARV. You got to find the repairs. And then you got to find the percentage rule. And usually their first offer should be 70% or lower. So, you guys know how to do this. I mean, you just multiply something by 70%. If you went to kindergarten, you can probably do this. Maybe kindergarten's a little too hard for them, but middle school. You guys are really great at finding the repairs. Like, you guys nail your repairs. I'm really proud of you guys for that. You guys are little contractors. Where most of y'all are having some difficulty, and that's okay, this is the hardest part, is finding your ARV. This is what is an art. This is an art, and this will take years to get really good at. But hopefully with my help, we can speed that process up to months. So with that said, you guys are not throwing me any properties to comp, so I'll just find some to comp. All right, I'm just going to go through the chat and see if there was any properties where my compers tagged me. Let's comp one without pictures. How about that? Actually, no. Let's comp. I want to have pictures. I like when you guys do your little bids. Well, hey, did you get a contract, Elizabeth? Cool. I think Elizabeth got a contract. Let's comp Elizabeth's deal. Great job, Elizabeth. If you want to start talking, feel free to talk. So 3457 Nogales Drive in Dallas.
Yes.
Did you get the contract?
Yes, I did. I sent you the email.
Awesome. Cool. Well, congrats. So what did you get it at? This is a perfect one to comp. Are you there, Elizabeth?
Yeah. So okay, is it Nogales Drive?
Yeah.
Okay, so I got it at.
You cut out, Elizabeth.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now. Nope, now I can't hear you. If you want, you can always just type in chat too, or I can figure it out. But congrats on the contract. Hopefully we can get it sold. Okay, it's this house.
Thanks.
They have a lot of shit in their garage. Wow. All right, that's a big house. So I always like to drive street for you guys. So immediately I see that it's across the street from apartments. That will hurt the value a little bit. People don't like to live across the street from apartments, but it's not awful. Just know that does hurt value a little bit. It's at the end of a cul-de-sac. Cool. Oh, no, it's not. That's just a weird circular. There's a fixed up house right here. This one's been fixed and flipped. You can see it's white and black. Hey, Elizabeth, I'm going to mute you just because there's feedback, if you don't mind. But congrats on a contract.
Okay, no worries.
What,
No worries, thank you.
what did you get it for? I guess I can look at the contract.
285.
$285?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. It looks like it's in terrible shape. So I'm interested to dive into this one. If you have anything you want to say, just type it in the chat. Thanks, Elizabeth. Oh, she muted herself. Elizabeth, guys, is killing it. Guys, there's a reason she just got a contract. If I go into the tickets for who's sending me leads, Elizabeth sends the most leads. Well, probably with Ryan too. And Peter's probably right there behind. Elizabeth is sending multiple leads a day. I'm so proud of her. And then a big credit to Shanks, who's helping her out as well. So congrats, Elizabeth. Hopefully we can get it sold, but don't count your chickens before they hatch, I think is the saying. So we have a 4-bedroom, 3-bath house, 2,700 square feet. It looks to be like a 70s or 80s build, probably an 80s build. Let's see. It's a 94 build. Nice. They don't have cast iron plumbing. If you guys haven't heard, I have to replace all the cast iron plumbing with PVC at my rental property. Properties built in the mid to late 70s start using PVC plumbing. Maybe they have plastic pump plumbing. Before that, early 70s and 60s and 50s and 40s and so on, they used metal plumbing. At least here in Texas, it's a little different everywhere in the US. Well, metal sucks and it ends up rotting. So eventually you have to replace all of it. And the insurance doesn't want to cover it because it's normal wear and tear. So Max got a bid for $30,000 to replace his plumbing. I have 3 plumbers bidding against each other, and I finally have it down to $19,500. But yeah, that's fun. Just lost $19,500. So that is a year's worth of cash flow for me. So always save your money on rental properties, guys. But a lot of people want to buy houses that are built in the 80s or 90s because they don't have to deal with the plumbing. A house this big, replacing all the cast iron plumbing could easily be $30,000, $40,000. So with that being said, guys, let's comp this deal. I already forgot what Elizabeth got in her contract for, 280 something. Let's look at it. So we have a house, guys. I want you to actually comp it too. All of you guys, comp this deal with me. Comp this deal. You guys are by your computers. I want all of you guys to tell me, what's your thoughts on a deal. I want all of you guys first to give me ARV. Let's find what the ARV of this house is, all right? Everybody, take your time, take a few minutes. Let's figure out what ARV is. The house is in a really sweet spot. Oh, I like this neighborhood. It's next to Love Field. This is our local airport. Here's our office, and here's where I just picked up Ryan at the airport the other day. This is a sweet spot, great neighborhood. All right, guys, let's comp this property. What we're gonna do is I'm gonna plug it into Propelio. I want you guys to tell me what the ARV is as well. I'm gonna make you guys work too. Should I give you guys homework? I'm actually down for that. Should I give you guys a list of properties to comp and you guys have to give me ARV, repairs, and what you would offer, and then like 10 a week? So actually give you guys homework? I wouldn't mind it. So the only thing with Propelio, guys, is warning. Sometimes they give you wonky data. Oh, cool. Okay, then let me work on that. You're gonna have to remind me, I'll forget. Sometimes they say like 3.1 bathrooms, but we just saw it's not 3.1, it was 3. So just know that. Okay, comparable sales, guys. What are similar properties selling for in this neighborhood? That's how we figure out ARV. This one's gonna be a tough one to comp because this big 90s house, Olivia has too much homework already. This one's going to be really tough to comp. So I'm going to go back 1 year. I'm only going to want to look at single family. I love that Propelio added that just for me. What a cool company. You bitch, and they add something. I feel so powerful. These are all way too small, guys. So I obviously don't want to comp against a house that's 1,200 square feet, but I just know right off the bat that a fixed up house that's 1,200 square feet is selling for 400K. So our fixed up house should be worth a lot more, right? We can just use basic rationalizing. I don't know the word. This house sold for 450K. Wow. And it's still like a quarter of the size of our house. So really, I mean, ARV is probably gonna be a lot higher. I like to look at actives. This new house is on the market for 900K. So ours is gonna be worth a lot less than 900K. It's actually a new house. I don't even think it's a new house. That's 2017. It's pretty new. So anyways, so gut feelings, what are you guys thinking? 500K, 600K? Like I said, sometimes it's hard to find an ARV. Elizabeth, what did y'all get for ARV? This one's tricky. You guys are throwing me a curveball. So all we're doing, guys, is trying to find a perfect comp. And sometimes you're not going to, so you're gonna have to use this basic judgment.
We got around 600 to 700.
Okay, 6 to 7.
Let's say around 650.
I will be the judge of that. That we'll see. Pretty new house was
Comp Master said 650.
Comp Master. Well, I don't think he's wrong. This is one of them where you just shoot in the dark, and unless we find a good comp. Paul, are you just saying 650 because Elizabeth said 650? Come on, Paul. No, if that's what you got, Paul, that's actually probably a pretty good guess. Usually, guys, it's easy. You can just say, "Oh, that house is worth that." Sometimes it's a pain in the butt. And sometimes there's no right answer. Sometimes you just got to get the property under contract and try. So like at the end of the day, this was probably one, and I can read through the chat, where Cody was just like, F it. Let's just put it under contract and try. Because I mean, what's the worst thing that happens? We lose some option money. Like what's your option money on this one, Elizabeth?
$20.
$20, right? We lose $20 and we lose our time. But maybe there's an investor out there who actually believes that ARV's 650. Maybe he thinks ARV's 700, right? Maybe there's no investor out there, but when you're pretty good on the numbers, it's worth a shot. What's the story on this deal? Can you tell me a little about it, Elizabeth, while I'm trying to find a better comp?
Yeah, so he was trying to work on it himself, and he just decided he just doesn't have the time for it.
Mm-hmm.
So 2 months ago, he just kind of packed it up and said that he was going to sell it, but he never really got it to get it to the market. And I think someone else, it might have been another wholesaler or some buyer came by. Actually, a buyer came by, and I don't think they qualified. And then so he had to let go of it. And then I think a wholesaler came, and the wholesaler was basically kept delaying it and putting him around in circles. And then I came by, and he wasn't sure what to do, and there was so much back and forth for weeks, right? And then he finally just locked it up.
Wow. Okay.
But he's out. He's really busy. He works in the oil gas industry. He doesn't have the time.
Okay. Well,
yeah, he's really working all this stuff.
Well, guys, here's the thing. I admit defeat. I could not find a comp. So do I give up? No. What I'm going to do, guys, we're going to do something a little bit differently. I talked about this in yesterday's talk. What we're going to do now, guys, is we're having a hard time figuring out what the ARV is. I'm using highlighter right now. So what we're going to try to do is figure out what it rents for. What does it rent for? And from determining what it can rent for, I can usually figure out what I would pay for something. Now, I think renting is going to be a lot easier. So we have a rough range of our ARV, right? We could easily say it's obviously not worth 900K, but it's obviously worth not like 400K, right? So we sort of have a good gut feeling. And I think, Paul and Commaster and Elizabeth are right. It's probably somewhere in that range, right? But how can we get more accurate with it? Let's try to find the rents. So this property, sometimes Zillow will give you a rent estimate, 4,200. I'm telling you, that's way too high. That's way too effing high. So let's do our own rent estimate. Grab the address, Go back to Propelio, and let's see if there's a similar property that's for rent. We never give up, guys. Actually, I think you just go to rentals. Easy. So we're going to flip over to rentals. And just our luck, no properties like this have been rented. We can try to get a little bit more accurate with our filters. We can try to look for properties that are maybe 2,400 square feet or bigger. Oh, not getting many options. We'll just try 2,000 square feet or bigger. Here's one that rented for 2,400 fixed up. So ours would rent for a little bit more considering that's a bigger house, but not significantly more. Wow, we got no rentals. This is really the nightmare property to rent. So let's just say that our house would rent for, you know, $3,000 a month. Well, immediately we would know by the 1% rule that a $300K purchase price would be a pretty good deal, right? And that would be a great deal for a rental. Now this property is unique because somebody may want to actually turn this one into a pad split or a rent by room or something like that. So the last thing now, guys, just to figure out purchase price, and then we're going to try to do an easier property because this one's been a nightmare, is we got to figure out what the repairs are. So let's open up the chat here. Do we have pictures? I think we probably have pictures. So here's the pictures of the houses, guys. So my little contractors, this is going to be a really tough one to contract, to get a bid on. What do you think, how much repairs does this house need? And there's not really going to be a right answer. There's a hole in the wall. There's some work outside that needs to be done. Do you replace the entire bathroom? Like, do you replace this old shower from the 90s and this bathtub from the 90s? Or do you just retile it, paint it, and list it? There's no right answer. So I would look at comps two different ways. I would look at comps to get it rental ready or more of wholesale ready, or I'd look at comps at a full flip. We need new flooring throughout the house. That is the ugliest bathroom I've ever seen. That looks like something out of Meow Wolf. That's scary. So what do we think, guys? This house is huge. It's 2,700 square feet. So any estimates on rent, on what it would cost to fix it up? All right, guys, fix it up. What are our numbers? Let me try to think what my numbers are. Here's our little repair cheat sheet, guys, that you can look at. This house is huge. It's 2,500 square feet plus. So if it's not a lot of work, maybe 50K. Add major repair items, 10K each. So we would want to ask, hey, how's the HVAC? How's the roof? How's the foundation? Maybe there's one major repair item. Let's budget for one. So 60K maybe if it's not a lot of damage. If it's a pretty good amount of damage, maybe 85,000. If it's really bad, over 100. Like, where are you guys at? I'd be really interested to see. 100K or more. Yeah, absolutely. 90K, 70K, 60K. I think you guys are all right. So, for sure over 100K. I think if this was a full fix and flip, absolutely over 100K. But I think the issue, guys, is that this house, and we talked about this yesterday in our class, there's strategies, there's wholesale strategies for every type of house. Okay? There are wholesale strategies for every type of house. Some houses, you gotta just say, hey, I'm gonna comp this as a full fix and flip. You guys know the houses I'm talking about, right? I'm telling you, you guys know. You guys go, here, I'll find you one super fast. We go to the ghetto of South Dallas, where you almost hit crackheads driving down the street to kick a squatter out of their house, and that lady screams at you and tries to kill you. That was a whole crazy time. Sorry, we're still on land. You guys know the houses I'm saying for fix and flips. If I can quickly find one, right? Those ugly little houses that are just, you know what, easy, even easier. Let's go to investorlift.com. All right, like, oh, I'm having the hardest time finding one. But anyways, there's some houses that scream to you, hey, this one's a fix and flip. All right, like this one sort of screams that to me. It's in DeSoto. Right, this one needs to be fixed up. I can see it painted white, completely fixed up, and then someone's gonna flip it. There's some houses though, guys, they don't really call for fix and flips. Some are better rentals. And the more you do this, you'll sort of get an idea of what makes a good rental and what makes a good fix and flip. And how do you learn that? Well, you have to learn the mindset of an investor, and you guys are slowly going to develop that. So, but there's also one last thing, is the wholesale. That's what we learned in yesterday's class. The wholesale / innovation. And this is a property where you just put lipstick on a pig, or you just clean it out and you list it back on MLS. This property here, guys, is screaming to me for more or less like this, or if it is a fix and flip, it's not going to be a high-end fix and flip. You're not going to make this HGTV beautiful, because here's the thing, guys. I don't know if the neighborhood is calling for it. There's no comps to justify it. I don't know if any investor is willing to risk $100,000 plus in rehab to make a beautiful house that may not sell, right? It's risky. There's no comps. So what I think is someone's going to come and do minimal amount of work. So 100K plus, absolutely, if you're full fixing his house, but maybe, and we would need more pictures, maybe on the low end, 50, 60, 70 grand just to make it ready to list back on MLS, right? You get in there for a month, you fix up all the bullshit, you repaint it, you list it back on MLS, maybe you spend 60, all right? So with all that being said, then we're gonna comp some easy houses before we're done. Let's just say the ARV is 650. Let's be a little bit more conservative. Let's say, hey, investors, I really think it's 650, but just to be conservative, we're just gonna say it's 600K, and we're gonna say the rehab is 60K. All right, just to quickly put it back on MLS. All right, so then what would we offer, guys? Our initial offer should be 70%, but we can probably offer a maximum of 75%. But we're trying to get closer to this, guys. We don't want to be pushing this because guess what? The market's shit right now, okay? So although I've taught you guys 75, 78%, unfortunately, the market has been working in our favor. So we really want to be trying to get closer to these 70% numbers. How do we do that? Well, you got to learn to negotiate motivation, which I'm also going to teach you. So 70% of 600,000, guys, quick math is 60, 120, 180. What's that? 420. So 420 minus 60 in repairs, that is 360. We can double check with the calculator. So that means your offer should be 360. Now, what did Elizabeth get this under contract at? 280, was it, Elizabeth? Something like
285.
that? Okay. Now I'm going to double check my math because I don't want to be, don't want to look stupid. Google calculator. So 600K, guys. Actually, I don't even like to put all the zeros because it just confuses me. I just go 600 times 0.7, and then I minus our repairs, which is 60. That gives me 360. I did my math. No, I did my math right? And that would usually be our upper threshold. Now, with weird deals, guys, I like to give myself a margin of 10 to 20%. This is one, it's a weird deal. We were already conservative before. We already knocked out for 50 grand. So just make sure you're conservative on weird deals where we don't have a comp. So the fact that Elizabeth got this at 280, there's a lot of room there for things to go wrong. And I think any investor would maybe take a shot at this at 280 because at the end of the day, guys, we comped it the other way. Let's say you buy this house for 285. And obviously they're not going to buy it for 285 because we got to price it higher. So let's just say we don't make a lot of money on it. And I'm not saying this is the case or not, but let's just say an investor buys it for 300K. They need to put maybe 60K of work into it. So they're at 360. Well, at the end of the day, guys, they have a rental that may rent for like 3 grand. And that's actually not terrible. Those are pretty good numbers. Now that doesn't meet the 1% rule, but that's actually still not too bad. That's still not too bad. So at the end of the day, guys, that's how I comp when I get a really tricky deal. So hopefully, congratulations. Firstly, Elizabeth, let's see if we can get it sold. I hope. We're going to have to find the right investor. It's going to be an investor who wants to take a risk on it, but we'll see. How many option days do you have? 3? Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Tricky deals, I like to have more time, but we will do our best. So let's make sure after this call, CompMaster sends that to my next acquisition agent in line, who I believe may be Travis or Graham, and then have them put that deal on Salesforce tonight so that tomorrow on our morning Wednesday meetings, they can pitch the deal to the team and then the sales team can start selling it on Wednesday. because we only have until Friday at 5 p.m. So we want to move as fast as possible so the sales team has it and they can start selling it. So is the property unoccupied, Elizabeth? I assume it's unoccupied. I couldn't hear
Yes.
you. Okay, cool. So if a property's unoccupied, guys, if a property's unoccupied, we just do a first come, first serve. So we just sell it to the first investor that gives us our price. If a property's occupied, we schedule a showing because we don't want to bother the seller with, you know, tons of people coming by their houses at all these different times. So we'll just schedule a one-time showing. So in this situation that it's unoccupied, I believe, we'll just hopefully have an investor who submits the money, the non-refundable money, by Friday. So we'll try our best. Let's get together after this, Elizabeth, and make sure that Cody's on it. Cool. Let's comp a few easier houses. That was a nightmare. That one hurt my brain. But if we can comp that, guys, we can comp anything. All right. I'm going to open up some. So congrats on that. Is there any new properties that came on? All right. Thailand sent a property in Weatherford. So now, guys, because we're running a little bit lower on time, it's not over. We're just running lower on time. I'm going to do power comping. So I'm just going to fly through comping and comp quickly. So just try to keep up. So here we have a property in Weatherford. Weatherford is a area. Not a huge fan of it. I think I've actually seen this house around the block a few times. It's on MLS for $170,000. My gut feeling is that this house, it's a 321, 1,500 square feet. I'm sorry, Elizabeth, I'm going to mute you. Oh, or no, it's not you, Elizabeth. It's you. I'm sorry, I'm muting you. Don't hate me. All right, so this house, 321, it's old. Looks like it's like a 20s build or something. It says 99999, it's old. Immediately I'm thinking this house needs to be closer to 100,000. Just because I've done this enough. But look inside, right? There's the big difference. This house inside, it's been partly fixed up. So I've actually comped this one before. I hate this house. Guys, I'll tell you right now, you find properties that have been half remodeled, it's usually not a good deal. It's usually a rehabber that's ran out of money or they realize, God, this house is a fucking nightmare. These are usually red flags, right? It's like finding, I'm actually not going to, I don't know. It's not a good sign if you find a half remodeled house. And guess what? Investors don't like half remodeled houses. Investors like starting their own projects. They don't like taking over someone else's project. You know, I don't know. A guy finds a lady who's pregnant. Oftentimes, you know, they want their own kid, not take over someone else's kid. I don't know. It's not a good analogy. You get the point. You want to start your own project, right? So that's how investors feel. They feel like they're getting pawned off a bad deal. This house just looks like a nightmare to me. So I would already pass, but just 170 is way too high. ARV in this area, guys, is probably closer to 200. So quick calculator. Quick calculator would say, let's just say it's 220. Let's give them the benefit of the doubt. This property probably still needs a lot of work. Okay. Needs a ton of work. Just, I mean, the inside, all they've done is a flooring pretty much. The kitchen looks like shit. The outside's bad. Still probably needs at least 40 grand. This is a 0.7 area. All right. Then minus 40 grand in rehab. You're at closer to 100. Right. This is not rocket science, guys. You do this enough, you just learn. You learn the patterns. Weatherford sucks. Weatherford's very similar to South Dallas and South Fort Worth. These homes usually need to be purchased under 100. So right off the bat, I'm going to answer this ticket. Here, we'll answer it together. Now, great job submitting the ticket. I never get mad at you guys. Like, I love that you guys are submitting the ticket. It's just that, no way. So he got ARV 290. I think his ARV is too high. But look, guys, this is literally the pattern that I see every time. Y'all nailed your effing rehab. Like, that's a nailed rehab. Like, great job. I think you nailed your rehab. I don't even know if you, maybe Tyler, maybe you're in this video. Great job. I think ARV is too high. I've comped this before. I don't like this deal. Run. So, there you go. Now we got another one, guys. It's in Fort Worth. So I got a question in the chat, real quick. Seller's motivations. Oh, there's 70 plus. All right. So let's quickly look at this one. I got a question in the chat. Do you use Propelio to find leads? I do not use Propelio to find leads. I haven't tried it. Maybe it works. Maybe it doesn't. Have not yet tried it. Hey, E, you want that house in Weatherford? It can be yours, man. Only 170 something thousand. I will never sell you a deal that shitty. I promise. Hopefully Taylor's reached out to you, my man. Hopefully Taylor's reached out to you. If you guys are any buyers, by the way, if you guys are looking to buy property, just reach out to me. E was trying to buy some properties, and good. Yeah, Taylor's awesome. Taylor's great. Cool. I was gonna try to give you like personal service, like be like, hey man, I got you. You're part of my Discord, and then I realized I'm just so forgetful. I'm never good. I can barely make these live streams on time, so I was like, I'm never gonna give you the service you need. So let me just give you over to one of my agents. All right, so we got this house, guys. I have never used Propelio for anything other than comping. I love their comping. Where I find my leads, I like Deal Machine. Batch leads has been good too. I think the free skip tracing pays for itself. So Deal Machine or Batch leads are probably my two favorite for now, but I still need to give Privy and PropStream more time. I also really like MLS. I'm really good on MLS. I'm good at talking to agents. You just figure out what you're good at. I think I'm better at talking to agents than I am sellers. But I'm also an agent. So here we have a house, guys. All right, is this South Fort Worth? I already feel like it's South Fort Worth. I actually have a gut feeling this is South Fort Worth. Let's look at a map. All right, guys, this is South Fort. Yeah, I would consider that South Fort Worth. I actually bought a house closer into this area. Guys, we know the rule of thumb, guys. If it's in South Fort Worth, and yes, guys, what is this? What is this house? It's a piece of shit little 3-1 framer. These houses always have one bathroom. They're always made of wood. They're always rotten. They're always super small. And what is the rule of thumb, guys? I'm going to scream it to you guys. I'm going to scream it to you guys. Under $100,000. Under $100,000, guys. If it's anywhere, all right, let's work at this exercise. If it has a wooden house, that's like those one bathroom houses in here, also in Weatherford. Weatherford, it's a difficult market. Or in here, under 100,000. You guys sent me these all day long. We wholesale these. They're not the best to wholesale. What should you guys be focusing on? The bread and butter, guys. The bread and butter for wholesaling is your 322 brick house. Let's see if we can find one. These are all new. This is a new version of the bread and butter of wholesaling. Your brick houses that are 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, right? These are all new. Can you not find a used house for sale? What the hell? Your 60s, 70s, 80s build houses that are brick. I don't even know why I can't. These, more of an example, right? This is where you're going to be making your $10,000 plus assignment fees. Your brick houses. Really don't know why I can't find one right now, but you guys get the point. These is where you're maybe going to be making $1 to $3 grand. Oh, look. We're dropping the bombs right now. If you guys ever want to come and talk, the reason I do this is you guys can just literally just unclick your mic and just start talking. I love that. All right, so this is, I love this. Look, here's my zone map, lol. Red, pink is a hard pass. Hey, bro, don't hate me. I just bought a house in the pink area. Yeah, that pink area sucks. That pink area sucks. Okay, you got to give me the sell on Weatherford. Why do you like Weatherford? I'll be honest, I've never been out there. It was under 100 grand. I paid like 65. That's why I bought it. Yeah, guys, that's actually, I like this chart. That's a good chart. Yeah, I agree. This is a yellow area for sure. This is near TCU. That's actually a great area. It's a good dunk. This is, yeah, Arlington's a sweet area too. Interesting that you like all of this. I live this area, so I never go out to this area. That's like a 2-hour drive for me. Weatherford's like a 2.5-hour drive. My contractor lives in Weatherford. Dude, that's all the reason you need to be wanting to buy in Weatherford. If you have a good contractor there, that's all you need. We get a lot of Weatherford deals. I'll send you them. Anyways, guys, this has to be under 100 grand. I mean, I just know it off bat, but here, we'll comp it real quick. Let's comp. This is going to be easy to comp. It's a 3-1, 1,300 square foot, 45 house. All right, 1945 house. I know the ARV is probably around 200-ish or something. Why the hell did this house sell for 200K? It must be ugly inside. Yeah, it's ugly inside. So just look for a house that's sold in red in the low 200s, and it should be a good comp. Oh, here's one that sold for 199. It's not fully fixed up. You guys can see it's nice, but it's not full ARV. But that was a good comp. So we can see a house that's... Oh, and this one has one more bathroom. Guys, so ours only having one bathroom sucks. People don't want to buy a house with one bathroom. Imagine your guest bathroom's the same as your master bathroom. That sucks. So oftentimes you're going to want to add one more bathroom to your houses to make it 2-bath, which is expensive. Budget $20,000 for that right off the bat. So now we're upping repairs 20K. Could be cheaper, but just budget 20 to be safe. Okay, let's try to find a comp. Here's a little 3-2 that sold. So again, not that nice. 182. I have a gut feeling that ARV is like 220 or something. Why did that one sell for 235? Doesn't make sense. This one's pending. Nope. So this is pretty much all you do, guys. You just try to find the right comp. There you go. This one sold for 245. This is a pretty good comp. I think this house is newer though. This house is a 2006 build that sold for 245. And it's pretty nice inside. So if a 2006 build selling for 245, guys, ours is going to sell for a lot less. I wouldn't say this is, it's pretty much full ARV. So 220 would be like my higher end on this. But you would just keep trying until you found that right comp. It's honestly just using basic logic. Like if a 2006 house is selling for 245, yours is not worth a 2006 house. Yours will never be worth a 2006 house. Yours has cast iron plumbing, right? So yours has one bathroom. So ours, it's gonna be a nightmare. Here's one that sold for 260. And why did this one sell for more? Well, there could be a few reasons. Is there a garage? Or did the seller or seller's wife just fall in love with this place? Like, I don't know. But I think 240 would be high. I think 220 would probably be closer to the sweet spot. So let's just say, guys, it's 220. Well, you have to add a bathroom, all right? Ugh. So we're at 220K ARV. And now we need it. What are repairs on this? All right, my little contractors, give me bids on this house. Where's our house? Here's our house. Here's our house. Look at this. Look at this thing. It's falling apart. It's awful. I mean, look the hell. What do you guys? Give me bids. Bids in the chat. Bids. I need bids. I mean, this thing is just maybe worth tearing down. Oh my god. Oh my god. It's terrible. It's terrible. I mean, guys, give me some bids here. Do we tear this thing down? Do we try to save it? I mean, what went on in here? Guys, you're going to need to add an HVAC system. Yeah, right? We're going to have to add an HVAC system. You may want to replace the plumbing. It needs a new roof. It needs total foundation work. That's 4 major items right there. And then you still have to do all the cosmetic work. I'll pay you not to send this to me. And the freaking audacity of the realtor to list this for $150,000. I am so mad. I'm going to call her or him right now and yell at them. This is criminal. So I don't even want to give a number on rehab, but 70K, maybe more or less. I mean, the house is not even right. So then we're gonna try to offer 70% of this. Again, this, you know, if you get it for 75%, I guess that's okay. But like, let's try to get it for more. So, or less. So what's 70% of 220 is, there's quick math. I'm so angry I can't even do math in my head right now. 220. And if you want to say, hey Max, we fix up, it could be worth 240, go for it. At this point, I don't even care. What I'm mad about is that at 70, so 70% of 220 guys is about 155,000, and then 70K in repair, you're at 84,000. And honestly, I don't even think I would want it at that price. I genuinely don't even think I would want it at that price. But that just gives you an idea, guys. Hey guys, by the way, what is this? What's this 84,000 I just did here? Huh? Isn't 84,000 under 100,000? Strange. Didn't Max just tell me that any houses in here, and probably under here should be under 100,000 that are framers and have one bathroom? Yeah, they should be. Guys, these rules are created for a reason. They work. So we're going to flip back over to this property, and the person that sent me this, my girlfriend sent me a message. Do I dare opening it on chat? I'm going to open it on the side chat. She sends me really annoying messages just to make fun of me. She said, squeaker. She's so sweet. All right. And then she also said I have kitten breath. Oh, my girlfriend. She's a sweetheart. She knows I live stream, and then she sends me annoying messages to try to embarrass me. She doesn't like that I'm a J-level influencer. Okay, so who sent me this property? No, if you send me this property, I am not at all mad. So flipping while you send me this property, I actually think your ARV's right. I think your ARV is pretty good. I would say 220K. What do you think rehab is? Guys, sometimes I have the answer, but I'm not going to give you the answer because this is a study tool for you. So she didn't submit rehab. I want her to give me rehab, and then based off of that, I'll tell her what MAO is, which is the MAO is really easy. It's run. That's the MAO on this deal. Run away as fast as you possibly can. Huh. That was a fun one. All right, guys. What questions can I answer? Should we call up that realtor and just get mad at them? I sort of want to get violent. No, maybe not violent, but I am pretty insulted that someone would list us for that. So how do I call a realtor, guys? To find a realtor's phone number, we learned this yesterday. Grab the address, go to har.com, plug that address in, and that's not the realtor. He would actually probably beat me up. Jeffrey Robillard is the realtor. I think, right? Here you go. Here's his, yeah, it's Jeffrey. There's his phone number. All right, guys, we're going to call Jeffrey right now. 972-715-198. Okay.
Thank you for calling Trailora, a newfound company for all of your real estate needs. We appreciate
What's this
your
bullshit?
call. Please leave a message or send us a text, and a representative will get back to you by the end of the day.
What is this?
Thank you.
Hi, I'm trying to get a hold of Jeffrey about the property at 2117 Andrew Avenue. I'm curious why y'all have it priced at $150,000 when it could possibly be worth a little bit over $200,000, but I need to put maybe $70,000 plus of work into it. So just wanted to see if there's any room for negotiation on the price. I would like to submit an offer, but it's going to be below $100,000. I have a fund and we're looking for properties in Fort Worth, but this one's just going to need substantial work. So if this is an offer that you would even entertain, please feel free to reach out to me. Thank you, Newfound Real Estate. I'm just in pain. It's like, who are they trying to scam here? Like, genuinely, these people are like, all right, I guess I shouldn't talk bad about people, but that's a scam. Jeffrey never answered the phone. Have you called him before? He's from New Jersey corporate. I don't know what any of this means. But anyways, maybe you guys have dealt with him. I don't know. I feel like I'm getting scammed. I see that. I'm like, dude, are they like, I wonder, do people actually buy that? Like, is there some person out there that would actually buy that deal and just not know any better? But I don't think so, because a lender would have to approve that. And there is no lender in America who would approve that deal. So that buyer would then need $150,000 worth of cash. And I think anyone who's sophisticated enough to have $150,000 of cash laying around would never buy that house. So what happens to these properties that are just listed way too high? They just never sell. So don't ever feel insulted getting in there and saying, hey, I'll buy it for $60,000. Don't feel insulted. They should be the ones who should feel like they should be insulted. Like, they're the ones telling you the house is worth $150,000. Like, that's an insult. You should be insulted. Don't feel insulted when you give them a lowball offer, because it's not. It's a realistic offer. They're criminal for doing that. Yeah, exactly. That's the truth. I mean, they're trying to like pawn off a ghetto property and trying to scam people, essentially. So don't feel bad getting in there and hitting them with that lowball offer. Especially the realtors. They know better. If it's just like direct to seller, guys, if this was a for sale by owner, I would be so gentle with the person, be so nice, because they're just a person. They don't know any better. They heard from a friend of a friend of a friend who told them what it's worth. But a realtor, they know. They got their license. They did 120 hours of coursework. They know that house is worth $200,000 and maybe $20,000 fixed up. They know that the house needs substantial work. They're being a piece of crap. But for sale by owner, direct to seller, always be gentle and really kind with them. But realtors, like, sometimes, I don't know. I guess I tend to get angry. All right, guys. We've been ripping it for an hour and 10 minutes. I think this has been a really good live stream. I do these daily now, so I don't go too long. Tomorrow, we'll be talking creative. I have a whole list of seller finance deals that I need to cover tomorrow. We can talk sub 2 seller finance novations, hybrids, Morby method, SIRS, lease options, wraps, whatever you guys want to talk about. But what questions do you guys have for me? Is that a typical message to leave for an agent if it's an on-market property? No, that is not a typical message. I was angry. I'm usually a lot more kind. So if you were on my yesterday's message, I know that deal's never going to go anywhere. Like, do you think they're really going to sell it for like $80,000 when they have it listed at $150,000? And even at $80,000, I wouldn't buy it. I mean, what a junk. I would actually feel dirty selling that to one of my buyers. I don't think I could sleep at night selling that to someone. But anyways, that's actually in the dispositions world, guys. You have a lot of scammy wholesalers that sell deals to their buyers, and there's this saying that's called I don't know the exact verbiage because I don't ever do it. You more or less sell and block. So what they do is they sell a deal to their buyers, and then they immediately block them. They blocked their phone number, they blocked them on all socials because they sold them a piece of shit deal. So I'm not going to name names, but let's just say our competitors in the industry, they do a lot of the sell and block. Now, I think it's stupid because guess what? You're not going to get a repeat client that way, and karma's going to come back and bite you in the ass. So I don't want to make $5,000 and burn a buyer. You've been trying to reach out to Jeffrey for 2 months. Dude, yeah, Jeffrey sucks. I'm sorry, Jeffrey. You suck, dude. Listing a house for $150,000? Nah, dude. You suck. Jeffrey could be a super nice guy. But again, guys, at the end of the day, half of the time it's the realtor. The other half of the time, it's the person behind the realtor, the seller. And if the seller says, like, I want $150,000, the realtor would be like, hey, it's not worth $150,000. You're going to put it at $150,000, or I'm going to find another realtor. This realtor who doesn't get a lot of business, doesn't make a lot of money, barely paying their bills, what are they going to do? Not take the listing, or just list it at $150,000 and pray to God that like the market goes up 60% in a day? They're probably just going to list it, right? So half of the time it's the realtor, half the time it's the seller. So sometimes I feel bad for these realtors. I'm like, dude, I know the precarious situation you're in. That sucks. But no, my typical message for a realtor is like, hey, my name is Maximilian Deer. I'm a real estate investor. I have a fund nearby. We're looking at properties just like this. I would like to make an offer on the property. Unfortunately, I'm going to be coming in substantially below list price. I believe the property needs a lot more work, but would like to talk to you about a few more things. Please feel free to reach back out to me if you think the seller is willing to take an offer below list. Something like that. I'm setting the expectation that, hey, I'm going to send you a low ask. Oh, also always mention, hey, this is a cash offer. Sometimes you should go through your cash offer. So, hey, open up the LOI sheet here, say, and then just use the verbiage here. It's like, hey, this is an all cash offer as is, and buyer to pay all closing costs, fast close, reach out to me. So always mention it's a cash offer. Always mention that you're buying it as is, and just say, hey, I'll pay all closing costs, and it's a fast close. I close in 10 days, 14 days. Yeah, that's a good. Yeah, don't go off of my last message. I was pissed off. Any other questions, y'all? Any other questions? I'm gonna go hit the gym. You guys have been wonderful. This has been really fun. I'm debating posting these to YouTube or not. This was a good time. You guys good? No more questions? Tomorrow we'll meet back up for creative. So what I want y'all to do is go to the events page and then make sure you RSVP here, guys. I'll drop that link one more time for you guys. So copy message link. No, actually that's not how you do it. How do you do it? Okay. Honestly, just do this. So just do this. You'll add all the events to your calendar. And then, yeah. Then I'll see you guys tomorrow for creative. I'm good. Thank you for sharing your knowledge. Aye. And didn't you just get a deal, Believe in Yourself? Do you have it under contract? Almost. Do you need help getting it to the finish line? What's going on? What's going on? And by the way, dude, so funny. You know how you made that? You were on the wholesale hotline and you said like, oh, Maximilian Deer, and then Pace was like, I don't know who that is. Maximilius Aurelius. Let's just say I'm in contact with Pace now. So thank you. Credit to you, dude. So yeah, so credit. Yeah, I got offended when he called me Maximilius Aurelius. Like, you don't know who I am? Yeah, it does. I got in contact with Pace. It's awesome. I love Pace so much. Cool. All right, guys. I love y'all so much. I'll see y'all later. Peace.